For some, coming up with ideas for junk journal pockets can be a challenge. This is why we copy and share other people's ideas, like this sideways tag pocket. It's not my idea. I've got so many crafty friends and I love to share their ideas when I see something that I think you would like to make. I have a friend, Leslie Utting-Young, that puts regular pictures of what she makes in the Playing with Paper and Glue Facebook group. Leslie shared this pocket back in 2022. And I want you to know, it's totally cool to steal someone else's idea. That's why we make and share things online for you all to admire and copy. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this extra large tag into a sideways tag pocket for your journal. You can use these vintage style shipping tags. These were Mum's and I haven't seen these anywhere. If you have, let me know because I'm wondering, are they still around? And if they're not, don't worry. I'm going to show you how you can make your own using manila folders or some pretty cardstock. And just to keep your mojo going, I'm going to show you some embellishing ideas after you've made your pocket. An easy way to cut the fold off your manila folders is to just put the ruler right by the side of the fold and cut off a slither. That'll separate your front from your back. So now you've got one single piece to work with. I'm just going to use this extra large shipping tag as a guide so I know what size roughly to make my pocket. You can make these pockets any size you like. You can cut it shorter or narrower. So I'm just marking the center and I'm going to use my scoreboard. If your cardstock is a little bit heavier, just score it to fold it down the center. If it's not very heavy cardstock, just freehand fold it. I'm going to open the tag up, and what I use to cut the corners off to make my tag shape are these clear acetate tag templates. I'll put the link below. These are my own design. I've got these available in my online shop. These tag templates are such a lifesaver. You can either cut them out and use them as a tag, but when you're making something like this, you can just use the angled part to cut the corners off. So I just place the tag level with the side and across the top, and using the template as a ruler, I just get my craft knife and cut the corner off. Turn the tag over and cut the corner off the other side. All right, so that's that done. Now I'm just going to mark the center for my hole reinforcement. Got to make sure that your hole is marked far enough away from the edge for you to glue your hole reinforcer down. Punch my tag hole. Now here's a tip for making a hole reinforcer the same color as your tag. I start by punching 2 holes in my offcut. Then I'm getting a 15mm, which is roughly half an inch. I'm centering it on those 2 smaller holes, and there's my hole reinforcement. I'm using the Barely Art wet glue, and then I just add the reinforcement to the tag. Do the same on the back. We've just got to turn it into a pocket. You don't have to glue this bit at the side, that's optional, but make sure you glue it at the bottom, because when you put your ribbon in the hole, that's going to keep the side closed. So gluing it at the bottom is a must. Now another option is to use these vintage style hole reinforcements. These look great on any tags, and these ones here are just the white sticker style. You can colour these up or just use them with the white, and I'll show you the white on one of the next pockets I make. These are also my own design. I've got these available in my online shop and the links below. So I put my finger in the middle and then just fold them over and crease them with my bone folder. Once I've got that over the edge of my tag pocket, I'm then going to put a pencil mark in the center of that hole. And this is so I know where to punch my hole. So now I'm just going to glue this hole reinforcer over the edge. I actually add the glue to the hole reinforcer this time. Oop, nearly forgot to glue my pocket closed. And then close that pocket and just slip that hole reinforcer over the front and the back. Now we've got a couple of blank pockets made. I'll show you the first embellishment idea. I'm going to use my typewriter, and I'm also going to use the manila cardstock. So I've just got my single sheet and I'm going to put it in the typewriter. I'm just moving it all the way over to the left, and I'm just going to type all the way across the full width of this cardstock. You can type whatever you like. All I'm doing is repeating airmail. So I'm typing airmail, then a little bit of space, airmail, space, all the way across. Then I'm going to go down with a reasonable gap so that I've got some cutting room, and type it again. Then I'm going down again with a reasonable gap and I'm typing it again. So you pretty much for this size only need 2 lines of text, but I do 3 just in case I run out or mess up. So when I cut out, I like to cut them all out the same width. So I'm just using my quilting ruler. These quilting rulers are so handy. I'll put the link below for this one as well. You'll love using these, they're so handy. So the strips I'm cutting out are 1/4 of an inch. So I just lay my quilting ruler over the top, center the text inside that 1/4 inch, and then just cut out the strips. That way you know you're getting them all the same. These rulers are really good and save you measuring. I'm going to use this scrapbook paper for the background part of the front of this pocket. I'm not putting it on first, I'm just getting it ready. I'm going to put my text around the border first. So I'm just cutting out all my pieces and then just laying them down before I glue them in place. Don't worry about where you cut your words off. They look better when they're random. Because I'm putting it all the way around like a frame, I'm putting my text strips down first. So now I've got them all cut to size, I'm just going to add a little bit of distress ink on the edges. And now I'm gluing them all in place. I've just cut my background here off camera just to save a little bit of time. This is also optional. I'm just going to use my small circle punch just to cut around the hole reinforcer here and put that in place. Depending on what ribbon you use, sometimes it gets covered up anyway. So again, it's always optional to, fuss around like this. So glue that down. You can spread it out to the edges. That always ensures that it doesn't lift up. I always like to put a couple of things in the pocket too before I embellish the front. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So instead of just adding the plain stamps, I'm picking out ones that have still got a piece of the envelope on it. And they've also got the cancelled post office stamps on them, so I don't have to go and get my rubber stamps out and add some ink to it. It's all ready to go. And I'm picking out what ribbon I want to put in the hole, but I like this rusty colour one with it. It goes really well. This one's called Tiger Eye. It's just beautiful. I love this silk ribbon. It's not heavy, it just makes beautiful bows. So I'm just going to tie that on and glue down my stamps. Now that's that one, all done. Let's move on and do idea number 2. This one's using the vintage hole reinforcer. So I'm going to do this one gentleman style. I've got a couple of things here picked out already. I've typed out my words, which are just antique car 1919 to 1930, and repeated it in 3 lines. So I've made up my tag pocket, inked the edges, cut my strips and glued them to frame the front of the pocket. This little packet is from Your Creative Studio. I love going through their boxes because I always find something to suit my project. So I'm just going to use this piece here and tear it down to size, distressing the edges and glue it into place. I'm just going to put my sticker over the top. This is sort of like a washi style sticker, and put the other little advertisement style sticker up in the corner. I picked up this box of awesome radio cards. They are, look, honestly, you've got to see it to believe it. These are beautiful. On the opposite side, they're like postcards, but gosh, they're different. They are so cool. But anyway, they're perfect for these little pockets. From the same haul, I picked up these tea cards. So I just picked out this old fella. I didn't want to put any pretty ribbon on this, so I've just picked out this chocolate brown seam binding. I think black would have looked good on here too. So that's these 2 done, and this is the one that I'm going to glue over that damaged page in my ideas journal. Once it's in your journal, you can put much taller things in the pocket and they sit there perfectly. Now moving on to idea number 3. This one here is showing you that you don't have to stick with the shipping tag style. You can make one using any of your pretty cardstock that you've got in your stash. This one's out of a page of a Daphne's diary. The weight of the cardstock is perfect and the print is just beautiful. So I've made up my pocket and both the outside and the inside looks great. I've also got my embellishments ready off camera. I've made a teddy butterfly to go up in the corner, and then I've just used a fussy cut image and the word travel out of the Daphne's diary and just glue that on the front. And the fabric that I put behind my butterfly, I also put a strip of that down the bottom. I'll put a link how I made the teddy butterfly below if you are interested in making one. They're so beautiful. And this is where I used the white hole reinforcement sticker. And this one I used the blue and green silk ribbon. Fill the pocket up with goodies. It doesn't matter what you put in these pockets, they look great. This one here turned out to be my favourite. Idea number 4. You can use washi and stickers if you haven't got a lot of paper. I put this down first for the background, and then I fussy cut my flowers out and put it over the top. Then I added this sticker up in the corner and a butterfly sticker over the top of that. That's it. Pop a journaling card in there and a handmade notebook, and this one's good to go. And don't forget Leslie's idea. She used grommets instead of hole reinforcements. I'm pretty sure you'll have lots of your own ideas. These are just to get you started. So here's a slideshow of all the sideway tag pockets that I've made today. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Ciao for now.
Hey, I wish you could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you, you don't even notice. Should've told you straight away, you don't have to be afraid.